Now let's look at what our encounter detail report would look like for this particular encounter. We have, of course, we'd have our office information up at the top left, the phone numbers that would appear there, our patient ID. Again, if you're in one physician practice, or if you're if you're an internal auditor, you could have the patient name here as well, sex, date of birth, the visit date, and then the audit date. The provider, the service category. If we had a referring physician, we'd have that information, and then the upper right, the reviewer E&M, the provider E&M. Whether there was a dollar amount difference, and that's going to be dependent on whether you entered your fee schedule into the software, and then the variance for that. The difference in the fee schedule would show the dollars that were lost or the dollars that were overbilled. You've got your diagnoses, and again, it's just a simple match to let you know. Did the diagnoses match? Did the procedures match? Then we've got the history, and we can see we've got a comprehensive history for this patient, but the encounter detail report lays out exactly which elements we counted. If we had a physician that wanted to discuss this with us and say, well, I know I had 4 elements, we can show them these are the elements that we counted. We can also look at the exam in the same way. We've got the detailed information for the patient exam. These are the elements I counted. It tells them what type of exam we ended up with. And remember, we forced it to show it was a 97 exam. If we'd had the 95, it would have said, detailed 95 and given that information. Then under our medical decision making, we've got all of the different areas that we counted there. Remember, we said it was 2 established diagnoses as far as we had lab tests, and as far as the risk. It gives all the information we've counted, and it shows this physician in detail how we counted this visit, and we can have any discussion with him that we need to at that point. And at the bottom, we have the encounter notes that shows these were the macros we entered, if you'll remember. Any notes that you chose to enter as well would appear there. So anything you want to remind the physician of, or any comments you want to make, it's going to appear there on the encounter detail report. We also have other provider summary reports that have some of this information, but you're able to print an encounter detail report for every single encounter you've audited so that you can go over the detail with the physician. Other reports may show more of a summary situation, and we can show you how the summary reports would look as well. If we just did the summary here and we did not give the detail, you will see you won't have as much detail involved there, but it can give you a quick look at all of the different areas that we looked at there for these particular reports. Okay, so you can see on the provider summary report we don't have quite as much information, but again, we can look at all of the encounters that we audited. It would list each physician. You can run a separate report for each physician, but if you had all providers, it would list them in alphabetical order, and this is the note we audited for Dr. Feelgood. And it gives just real quickly the elements we came up with. We had a comprehensive history, expanded problem focused, and then we had moderate complexity decision making, the reviewer E&M, and the provider E&M that was billed, the modifiers, any variance, and any dollar difference there. And then our macros, our comments, are going to print there as well. At the bottom of the summary report, we're going to have a total. This is going to give us, it was a total 2 visits audited, 1 was accurately coded, 1 was undercoded. It's a good statistical analysis to give your physicians there. There are many other reports available, but these would be the 2 basic ones you would use, your encounter detail report and then your audit summary.